Caribbean is often described as the most tourism-dependent region in the world. A titan is described as one that stands out for greatness of achievement, one who is influential in his field. I'm Marlene Stevenson-Daly. Welcome to our podcast. We call it Jamaica's Tourism Titans. It's about the movers and shakers of the industry, men and women who have contributed to its growth and development in Jamaica, the region, and indeed the world. Welcome again to Jamaica's Tourism Titans. Our very special guest today is Barbara Beckford. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, she's an experienced tour guide of over 41 years, spending most of her career as a senior tour guide in the mansion at Devon House. Barbara, welcome.
Thanks for having me here, and I want to say thanks that God has brought it through. Yes.
We are so very happy to have you. And we want to talk a little bit about Barbara. We want to find out what makes you tick. Who's Barbara? And why is Barbara so special and part of Jamaica's Tourism Titans? Let us begin at the beginning. Born in Kingston. Tell me a little bit about your family background.
My mom, now deceased. I may mention her name, Alice Wilson. Give thanks. She grew us well. Mm-hmm. We were like sort of sheltered.
How many of you?
Would you believe it's 5? One brother. No, I missed out one. 6.
You didn't count yourself. You didn't count yourself.
One brother, and we have 5 sisters, yes. Mm-hmm. Well, we all went to a school called Swallowfield. And I can tell you some story, because we could not leave each other. Say 3 girls, we could not leave each other. So, and I was the troublesome one, you know.
What kind of trouble did you give?
Lord have mercy. I love to run. I love to play netball. And I play dandishani and all of those something.
You used to play dirty pot too?
Lord have mercy. So you know, so we cannot go home and leave each other. So now my sister, I would spend off the bus fare.
Oh, Jesus.
So now they would take the bus, but they would have to wait all the way down Constant Spring Road bottom. And then I would walk all the way up from Manningsville Road, come down Constant Spring Road. And they would stop because where my house is, you could see the road. So, you know, my mother would be looking out. So they stand up down the road there and wait until they see me coming up the road.
Because everybody had to go home together.
Exactly. And so them look and see if Mama was looking out. And they're like, come. And then I run across the road with them and we go in. Because if anyone did ever go home, all 3 we get beaten. When we get beaten, is everybody get beaten one time, you know. It's different than now, yes. So if that one do something wrong, every one of you get the beaten.
So you all had to keep each other in check.
You better. And she was such a lovely soul. We weren't rich, but I think in love we were. And she grew us up the Lord to fear. Mm-hmm. And we would go church from morning till night. I mean, like 6 o'clock mass. They send us a 6 o'clock mass.
Yes.
When we come back from mass, then I go across the Rehoboth Gospel Assembly. Yes, man. And then when I come from Rehoboth Gospel Assembly, in the evening, then I go down to Bethel. So we never have no time.
You were well churched.
Lord have mercy, I tell you. Mm-hmm. So that's the mother I had, and we had to have manners to everybody. Mm-hmm. We could not pass anybody and do say good morning. If we ever do it, I'm going to tell Miss Alice when I see her, because that was her name.
Yes, but that was the time that we lived in then.
Mm-hmm. I remember once my mother, we wouldn't be able to take things from people. So my mother had a lady that sell down the road. And I went down the road, Mommy sent me down there. And there was this lady selling. And she said, Bobsy, because that's how they called me. Mm-hmm. And she gave me an orange. No, I couldn't tell this big lady no thank you. So I took the orange. But when I reached up on Sandy Gully Bridge there, I took the orange and put on the bridge and rolled it down the gully. Never know, said the lady was coming up the road.
Oh my goodness, and she saw you.
And she saw, Lord have mercy. Me no know not yet.
How did you get out of that?
Wait, now I reach home. And then the lady come now. Miss Alice, you know, so me give your daughter one orange. And could you tell you what they do with the orange? They pick the roll me orange down the gully. You know, my mother look at me, she don't want to tell the lady, say, she tell we say not to eat from people. So she just look at me, so me just take time drop, and she just say, Bobsy. But that was it, she couldn't carry it no more, because she knows that she don't tell me already, you know. So that was something else, you know. And
clearly you have very fond memories of your childhood.
Oh gosh, and she would tell us stories because we couldn't get to play. We live in a tenement yard, you know. We couldn't play with the others as children only when she go on a market. And when she go on a market, we get away. And we run out and we go play. And then there's this landlord by the name of Miss You, we should have said. When she said, my mother comes, she said, Bobsy, Ivan. And we shut and we run going to the house. But it was good. It was good, and it taught us something, that, you know, the talking like how some people just go to this yard and sit down and laugh. Yeah, that wasn't us.
That wasn't.
And we couldn't do that.
Yes.
So we had a real good life.
Where did you go to school?
Oh, I went to Swallowfield Primary. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I went to a private high, which is no longer. It's Burlington High. And after that, I did a short course. I did at UA. Never get to finish because you know money. And then I did I went to Bible school.
To Bible school?
Yes.
Well, having been to church in
you
the morning,
know, Lord have
and
mercy.
Noon, and
yes,
then in the
you
evening
did
on a Sunday, you have to do
you
some
couldn't
Bible
help it.
studies.
Yes.
Where did you go to Bible school?
What's his name again? It was down by Crossroads, Reverend Miller. Yes. And so that's where we went. I spent a year there. And that's it, yes. It was like a certificate course. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what I did. Mm-hmm.
So how did you get into this tour guiding thing? Because
would you believe that started when, first of all, I was a pre-trained teacher at Stevenson Prep. And then my mom heard about Things Jamaican, about this job thing. So I went in, and that's how I got a job with Things Jamaican. But while at Things Jamaican, Mr. Hugh Nash, now the house was now refurbishing and everything, and he was looking tour guide. No, Bobsy never really set up to become tour guide, but I'm inquisitive, very inquisitive. So when I get break from the shops, because they had the shops there, so I was also a sales clerk.
So while you were working in the shops, the refurbishment was taking place of the house.
Right.
And you just push your nose into the thing.
When I hear all of that, when lunchtime I run going to the house, and I observe everything, and then I start to go by the Institute of Jamaica, because I want to find out everything about this place. So I did my own study, and all of that, and make my own notes and everything like that. To be honest, when I wrote the first script on Devon House, nobody told me nothing. I just went in and I find out about the pieces, the name of the pieces, where they're from, and how old are they. That's what I did. And just one day, there was a friend by the name of Phoebe, man, and the both of us would do it. One day, Mr. Hugh Nash said, we want to do something, do tours in the house. And I said,
And you volunteered.
This is my opportunity. And so, that time, a school group was coming. No, this gentleman just allowed the school group for the tour. No, say, you have to do the tour. So, the story just started flow. It was longer, because I never know how to cut it, and so it was very long because I give them everything.
But doesn't this show that success is when preparedness meets opportunity?
That's true, it does.
Because you were there preparing yourself.
Exactly.
Maybe not even thinking that this would have been
Not even
your
thinking
lot.
that it would have
Yeah.
been. Yes. that
So you
day.
did the tour that day?
Oh, you mean? Of course I did it. I did it. And then you see, from I did that, the tours, does
People
make the
started
tour
to
them
come.
start to come.
Yes.
You know, that time I can remember we now start charging maybe about $25. So that is all long. You know, yes.
$25.
Yes. And
Yes,
so
that was a
never
long
have no
time.
ice cream then with it. But yeah.
So tell me, give us a little sneak peek into the story of Devon House. Some of the things that you learned from your research at the Institute of Jamaica at the time, which would have allowed you to actually conduct a tour with school children.
All right. When I do school tours with the school, I come down to their level. I try not to talk over their head. I sometimes do it in Miss Louise Bennett's style.
And I should tell our listeners that you're well attired today in your bandana and your head wrap. And I mean, you're just looking fabulous.
So what I do now, I would, so let me give you a little sneak into the mansion. Because Devon House story becomes my story. So I start seeing George as this little boy. I look at his dad. 2 German brothers came to Jamaica, fell in love with Jamaica, and became naturalized Jamaican. Now I put it in another way where I see this German man buck up with one nice black woman. Must look good, like her. And eventually this is how George came about. So while George came about, I think Sam put her away now. Because remember, film color was a little high and hers was black. And so I put her in a one little place where I could go visit her.
All right.
And say about when George was weaned, I could put George maybe about, say, near 3 years old now.
And for those persons listening in, George is actually George Stibel,
Oh, yes.
who is the first black millionaire in Jamaica who owned Devon House.
Yes.
Okay.
You notice how I talk like me and my brother? Yes. So George, they put away him, took George from the mom, treat him fairly well, you know, because he loved this little boy. And send him to a fine school. Now here's where the problem rise. Because of his color, parents, teachers, and also children, you know, would tease him about him color. You're not fit to be here. Boy, come out of my school. You're not supposed, we don't want you here. Although your dad have the money I send, we don't really need you here. So this little boy said, all right. In this side, same around way. So me can imagine this little boy just pack up his thing them one day and just pretend like him a go school and run away. Never go back home.
Wow.
And this dad probably just, Lord Jesus, where my boy there? And I wonder where we go look for him.
Yes, very concerned.
Oh gosh, so he searched for this child. Could not find him. But long and short, he found him in a carpentry yard working. And I can imagine this father go over to this little boy and say, George, come back home now.
It sounds like the prodigal son.
Lord have mercy. And the little boy would have say, shake him head 2 times.
I think so.
And then and the father beg again, but he was adamant. He said, look here. It's like saying, look here, I'm amongst my own kind. Look at my skin. We you know, it not add up. So I prefer staying
stay.
here. So I'm going to whisper in him man ears and tell him, say, look here, me want you to take care of my boy. Teach him well. And that he did. At about age 19, this little boy rebuilt Ferry Inn. Now you know where either school or company is.
Yes.
So that's where if you drive past, you see one little inn. So it was used as person coming in from Montego Bay could have stopped over and rest. Yes, man. And while there, this little boy continue. Then the business on Church Street fall down because he was one carpenter, you know, and him have the carpentry shop and it dropped down on his face. And so this little boy, no, I wonder when I'll get some more money. And the father here and carry the money and give him. Now he say, this is one chance of me change. So now this little boy start to become an apprentice to a shipwright. And him start to carry cargo to North and South America. Lord God, But you ever hear them say bad luck was over here? Lord
Yes.
God, poor Pitney. Ship storm. everything went under.
Wow.
He lost everything. But he was smart. He had a belt with some money in there.
We're going to stop you right there. You're not telling the whole story. Persons will have to, when you come to Jamaica, make sure you go to the Devon House and do the tour when you can, hear the rest of the story. And of course, when you get there, make sure you ask for Barbara. You're listening to Jamaica's Tourism Titans. We're talking with Barbara Beckford, experienced tour guide of some 41 years at the Devon House here in Kingston, Jamaica. We'll be back in just a moment.
In tourism, the people are the product. Yes, they are one of our industry's most important assets. They help create memorable lifetime experiences. They, through their service, make the difference. We share the stories of their challenges and triumphs, of what makes them tick, of who they really are, just to inspire you to act positively. You too can be an ambassador for tourism and our country and become a Jamaican tourism titan. Start today.
TPDCo's Explore Jamaica has insights into licensed tourism entities across Jamaica. Visit the Google or Apple Play Store and download the app today. Welcome back to Jamaica's Tourism Titans, your podcast coming at you from Jamaica. Now, our guest is Barbara Beckford, and Barbara is an experienced tour guide. She has received the Governor General's Award for long and faithful service, and she is a treat. Barbara, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I love singing, and I also knit.
You
and
knit?
I love, yes, and I
Okay.
love children. I teach Sunday school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like how you like to sing, you want to raise a little folk song for me?
Well,
Because
it's
I know when you're going through your tour, you will divert and
Mm-hmm.
give a song here or there that's appropriate. So, give us a little tune, man.
All right. One is for now is the mango song.
Ah, and it's mango
Oh
season.
Lord, it's mango season, so it's the right time.
Yes.
And as I would say, we can eat mango for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And supper too.
Yes. So it got something like this. Me no drink coffee, tea, mango time. Hear how nice it may be, mango time. Inna the heart of the mango crop, when the fruit them are ripe and drop, wash your pot, turn them down, mango time. So yes, man, I'd give them a little taste of that. And then I would give them a little taste of Louise Bennett Coverly too. Just one little, me that say one little tops.
So you read it too.
All right, it's a, me go downtown last week Thursday, in a me decent mood, and Sarah, I'm a knock-knee boy, cause me fi get out rude. Me walk up to the boy and me splice and me smile, quite cool and tame. The boy tear tray upon me and said, lady, give me your name. Me say, after me no got tea, you take it from me in a century and you never give me back. The boy said, lady, give me your name and occupation. Me say, see, me temper boil. Me say, boy, cure out. His me name Sarah Bunja. And I me give mama the first power boat she wear. And when our time take her, and me Sharon come too. So I never bother figure vote. I make one double X. And anybody did vote is because them, for me X, did choice. Ay.
Aye. The Honorable Louise Bennett Coverly, what can I tell you? Our Lady of Comedy, Our Lady of the Theatre. And she has made such an indelible mark on Jamaicans and has been such an advocate for our patois,
Yes.
our native tongue, for those persons listening in. What's a typical day like for Barbara?
Okay. It sometimes fluctuates. Like we have in the June season ending school year, we have a lot of school. I mean, there are times when we have over all 700 children for one day.
Wow.
Yes. And there are times when it's very quiet. You'll get only tourists trickling in. But apart from that, I get to walk out in the garden because I do everything, you know. I'll walk out in the garden and I'll pick flowers. And I can remember one time, even the gardeners ride a mower. I jump on it and ride it, you know. Yeah, but I can't make nobody say, Lord, them know now. Yes, so those are little things that I would have done. And I can recall once at work, there was a little girl, I see her, and she was like begging. That one is most touching to me. And I went out to her and I said, I don't want you doing that. And I said, whatever I can help with, I'll help you. And she started coming to me because she was going to school. So it's like getting lunch money for school. So she would come to me and I give her lunch money. And then one day she was now out of school. She got pregnant, but she came back to me. And she said, I still want to go back to school, you know. I said, all right, I know the female school across the road from us. So I said, all right, I'm going to work on that for you. And she said, you're going to tell them that you're my mom, all right? I said, yeah, man, no problem. So I took her there, and I got her registered and got her going back to school, although she was then pregnant. So that's a good feel. And she come by every now and then. She's now living in the country, but she does come when she come into town. And another fun memory, I was sitting at the desk one Saturday, and a lady came. No, I sat at the desk, and I heard, give. And I sort of taken back.
You just heard a voice?
Just a voice.
Okay.
And I hear the voice coming again, give. I say, give what? It's like I know verbally talking out. Give what? I don't have nothing to give. And then it comes again and say, give. And I said, what am I to give? And it just came out, give that which I have given unto you. I didn't know what he was setting me up for. So I said, that's all right. I said, okay. So I still sit there. And then I saw a lady coming up. And right away something started clicking. And I started talking to him and I said, only if you don't allow anybody to come inside here, then I will minister to her. And she came up and she wanted a tour, but at first she just sat down and we were just there talking. And I now start relating to this lady, but as I start relating to her, the Lord was just saying things in my spirit, and I started to talk to her and was praying for her. But as I pray, I was like reading her life. I don't know her, but all that I was saying was actually things that were happening to her. And when I finished, I noticed she was all in tears. She was just crying. And then she said to me, so you don't know what you have done? I said, I just know I was praying for you. She said, I don't live in Jamaica. But all that you have said, it was that which I'm going through. And I never had nobody to really talk to about it. But you just came out with everything. I said, can I tell you something? It's not about me. It's about God. Because I wouldn't do it of myself. I would never do it of myself. So you have to just give God the glory.
Yes.
Because it's...
And there are times when these opportunities are...
They do, yes.
...placed before us. And we also have a choice.
Yes, we do.
So it's good that you chose to
Yes,
listen to
okay.
the voice.
Yes.
Yes, listen to the voice. Now, you have had some interesting people that you have had to take through the house and on the various tours that are available.
Yes.
Tell us some of those.
I can remember, all right, first I can remember the Lord Mayor of England. That was awesome. So you can just imagine me nervously taking this, but it was good. And the point is, you would think that somebody in such position would not just walk, but actually speak back to you.
Yes.
And it does make you feel like, hey, you know, I pinch myself and see if it's real. Yeah. And then not just alone. I can remember taking the man who went on the moon. I meet him. Yes. Mm-hmm. And not just that alone. All the queen, my child.
All right.
Oh Lord. No, this time I was inside one of the shops when she came in 83. And the shop that I was in, it was called Bread Basket. And she came over to me and she said to me, does that thing taste good? No, she's talking about the patty. So now I have to tell her yes. And I tell her to explain that it was a crust with meat inside of it and all of that. But you know, so me mix up the name instead of say His Highness or Her Highness. Me mix them up.
What did you call her?
Woo, me I tell you. What did you call her again? Me probably did say His Highness, my cat and my tongue, my child. But all she did was to smile and yes, but that was good. And then I met Harry. Oh, that's a sweetheart.
Harry Belafonte.
Harry Belafonte. And no, as you say, Harry Belafonte, I met Shari Belafonte. She came and she was doing the tour with Mexico and the Caribbean and Jamaica and Miami. So I took her on a tour that day.
And
yes.
you didn't stop to say, "Day, me said day, me said day, me said day."
Lord, no. I never did. Had I, sure, maybe if I did the father come, would I did say it, you know.
Yes.
But yeah. And then Prince Harry and King Charles III, no, yes. So I've met those persons. I mean, I've met so many. I seldom even remember, you know, when you're getting old, you know, that is how the things happen, you know. you know, remember everybody. But those are fun memories. And Devon House, as I tell people, is a safe haven. You meet people, and then you had nobody to bother you, because you could walk and talk with everybody.
Yes.
And that's what they like. They could have just come out of the house and go into the garden and nobody bother them. Yeah.
How important is tourism from your perspective? You have been a tour guide all these years.
I tell you, it's important. And as you talk about how important, I would now mention for other tour guides and those who want to venture off into tourism, it's a good space to be. And there are times when the courses, because when I do courses, they cram them. So a course that I would take for a month, it's crammed into a couple of days. You know, so you have to, you know, be screwed on, because you have to do your presentation and all of that, you know, so you have to be ready. And I want to tell them that, tour guides out there that are presently listen, make sure you be you. Don't ever try to live in somebody else's space. Don't ever try. A man come from Japan, don't try to talk like a him. Somebody come from New York, don't try to. Be you. This is what they're here
yes,
for.
Your authentic self.
Yes, they want you. And when you tell a story, let that story come alive. Not a script being read, but a story that they'll want to suck it up like sponge and want to ask questions, make the person get excited.
I wanted to ask, have you ever been asked a question that you really didn't have an answer for? And how did you treat with that?
All right. Now, when they ask a question,
I asked it against the background of someone who was doing a tour, less seasoned tour guide, and the lady asked the name of a plant, and she said this one was called Ovayaso. And they went down a little bit more and said, what's the name of this one? Overdeso. But of course, the lady realized that she was just pulling a fast one, you know.
All right.
So what do you do?
I think what you could tell the person is to say, I'll get the information, and if you want, you could leave a number. I could get that information to you. Don't ever, ever try to tell them otherwise. Because when they come to us, they're looking for straightforward, factual information.
Yes. You're involved as well from time to time with the assessment of tour guides that are being trained through the Tourism Product Development Company
Yes, I am.
Limited. How does that make you feel?
It's a joy, because when after assessment and you see that this person has pulled through, because going through the process, they think more or less that, oh, it's so hard, I'm nervous. There are times what I do on my assessment is like do things that would help to pull them out. Say like I'm doing a bus tour, and this person is telling their story. I would pull some fast one. I would cry like for an headache, and to see how they would react to somebody with an headache. So that because you need to know that. Or if I'm having a heart problem, how would you relate to that? And yes, so I do that to pull them out.
Right, put them in different scenarios.
Yes, right.
Before we close, Barbara, I want you to tell me a little bit about the tours that are presently available at Devon House. And, cost isn't too high, so
No,
we
it's
won't get into
not,
cost.
yes.
It's very affordable, I believe.
It is affordable.
But tell me about the different tours that are
Okay,
now
we
available.
have the Sweet Escape. And for Sweet Escape, what you get is an ice cream. So you get a tour plus the ice cream.
And not just an ice cream, but
Yes,
Devon House.
the Devon House
cream.
ice cream.
Voted number
Number 4.
in the world.
But I always say, they say it's number 4, but I think it's number 1. I think it's an error on their part. Yes.
That's because they haven't had the stout.
Yeah. Oh
the
my
one with the
God,
stout.
yes.
Devon stout.
They haven't had that. That's true.
And the other tour?
Okay, now you have a taste of Devon House. Now that you can have that for lunch. So you'll get an ice cream, you get a coconut water, and you also get a patty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is kind of like a nice little
Yes.
everything in one tour. All right. You have been interviewed by the BBC.
Yes, I am.
And you have been a great ambassador for not just Devon House,
That's
but
true.
for Jamaica. And you remain as one of our cultural ambassadors. And I think that's so very important. We want to wish you all the best on the next leg of the journey. And we want to congratulate you on the awards that you have received.
Yes, thanks.
And thank you so much for being our guest today on Jamaica's Tourism Titans.
I want to say it has really been my pleasure talking to you and talking to the world at large.
And we can end
Do
with
come to Jamaica.
we can end with mango time.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Together.
Yes.
We no drink coffee, tea, mango time. Care how nice it may be, mango time. Mango time. At the heart of the mango crop, when the fruit them are ripe and drop, wash your pot, turn them down, is mango time. See you next time on Jamaica's Tourism Titans. Thank you so much for listening to Tourism Titans. We welcome your feedback at letusknow@tpdco.org. Leave us a comment, share, like, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at TPDCOJA. I'm Marlene Stevenson Daly. See you soon.